All right, welcome back to the Sports Fest Podcast. We are back live with our college basketball Thursday night with you guys. We're going to go over some of the games that happened yesterday, some of those big-time games. We were not live yesterday, so we're going to go over some of those games we missed. Michigan State Purdue is going on as we speak, and we're going to look at Illinois and Michigan on a big Friday night basketball game. So without further ado, let's get right into this episode. If you guys are new here, go ahead, leave a follow. All those good things helps us out. Helps us out big time. So make sure you guys help us out there. But first off, we had to start off yesterday. Number 6 UConn beat number 15 St. John's in one of the craziest games that you'll see. I talked about this on Tuesday when we were live. UConn was going out for revenge. I said that was going to happen, and I felt you could just tell it was going to happen. It looked like UConn really wanted it, and they did. They came out. They won by 20, 30 plus. St. John's missed every shot they could think of imaginable. I think what was its count? It was like 24 missed straight shots, or maybe it was at one time. I don't remember what it was. But UConn really wanted to win. I think Dan Hurley was about sick of getting beat by Rick Pitino. He really wanted to get a win for himself. So it was a huge win for the program, especially in the way that what UConn wants to go. UConn's going to stay in that discussion to be a 1 seed if they're not already a 1 seed. St. John's, you look at St. John's on the other hand, they got a big game of Villanova coming up. They're going to have a huge game. That's only their second conference loss. It might be their first. I think it's their second. Yeah, it's their second loss. They got beat by Providence. That's what it was. That's their only second conference loss. They still have a chance, like Rick Pitino said. If you guys didn't see, Rick Pitino had a 1-minute conversation with reporters after the game. He really wanted to get out of there really quick. So he was out of there. I tell you what. So. But you got to give your props up to, UConn. UConn did exactly what they had to win this game. They are, right back in the mix to win the Big East, if not win it already. So it'll be fun to see. I mean, down the stretch, we got 3 games left, especially in the Big East. There's 3 games left. And I think Villanova's still in the mix for it. St. John's, Connecticut has 1 loss. So Connecticut definitely has the inside track to win the Big East, which is what their goal will be. So, like I said, the outlook for UConn going into this game, I think UConn is going to still be my 1 seed as of right now. They're a really good team. I think people forget how good UConn is sometimes, and sometimes they don't play like the way I think that they can. St. John's, they will stay on the 5 line. I have a hard time thinking they'll go to a 6 line right now. So that is the outlook for both those teams. We'll see both those teams in March. So really excited about that one. Next one, number 7 Florida beats Texas on the road. It was not pretty, but Florida did enough to win this game. Florida's outside shooting down the stretch was so huge. They hit some timely threes. And Texas, you got to give Texas props. They played really good. Texas is a team that's really, up until the last 2 games, they just got beat by Georgia, and then they just got beat by Florida. But before that, they were on like a 6 or 7 game winning streak. They were looking really good. And, they just could not pull this one out. And it's no shame. I think Florida, if they're not a 2 seed yet, they're pretty darn close. Depending on what Purdue does against Michigan State tonight. If Purdue loses, I have a hard time believing that Florida would not be that top spot to be a 2 seed. So that's kind of how I see going into that game. But when you look at the outlook for both teams here, Florida, they'll go as far as, that the Arkansas transfer had a huge game for them. Boogie had 20, and then they had another guard to go up and get 20. So, if they're going to get backcourt play like that, Florida's going to make a run in March, guys. I know everyone in my comment section saying the SEC is not that good. Well, I still think Florida can make a run, even though you might not think the SEC is good. I still think Florida can make a run. I really do believe Florida can make a run, and especially depending on their seeds. They've won a national championship, guys. People forget Florida won it last year. It's really hard to win it back-to-back. You could definitely say that. So I would agree with that part. But, it's not out of proportion that they could do that, I would say. So, that's what I would say. You got to give your hats up to Florida. So, like I said, the outlook for this game, Florida is probably going to be a 3 line. Depending on that Purdue game, Texas is going to be a low 10, maybe 11 seed, depending on results still coming in. So, absolutely huge win for Florida. That's just one of those games you have to win if you want to win the SEC. They still have the inside track, and they have a huge game with Arkansas coming up on Saturday. I'm super looking forward to talking about that game. Should be a great game. Moving on, number 25 Vandy gets the best of Georgia. Georgia was a team coming in with a lot of momentum. I had Georgia up to the 9 line Before this game, Georgia had that huge win against Texas where they really played good at home. Georgia had a really good week last week before we talked about this. Georgia got a huge win at Kentucky, and then they got a huge win at home against Texas. They had a really good week. They just got beat by Vandy. I mean, Vandy was due. Vandy's a team that I can't tell if they're good or not. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I'm sold on Florida, but other than that, maybe Arkansas and Bama. But other than that, I'm not sold on Vandy. I know some Vanderbilt fans might not like that. I can't get behind Vanderbilt yet. They're a top 5 seed at least, in my opinion. They're at least top 5. But are they going to make a run? Like, are they a second weekend team? I think that's still out to be seen, in my opinion. I don't think it's just cut and dry that they'll be a second week team. They're winning the games they have to. I mean, you got to give them credit for that. I just have a hard time believing that they'll be up there, but we'll definitely see. Coming up, what that looks like. So you got to give props to Vandy. They keep winning. So my outlook for this game, Vandy, they're still on my 5 line as of right now going into Friday. And Georgia might be a 10. I could see St. Mary's, which the team we'll talk about a little bit later, move up to a 9 and replace Georgia, but we'll definitely have to look at that. So, I think a lot of things are still in play for Georgia. They have it's just a quad one loss, excuse me. So, that's just one of those games, I would say. Moving on, Bama keeps the winning streak going. Bama got another win. Bama has been looking good lately. I love the way that Bama has been looking, I would say. Bama's a team that has really, really they move the ball well. So we can go ahead. Alabama, they're a team that they're just solid. Just a solid team, no matter the way you look at it. They just play basketball really, really well. They're scoring. Their offense is so good. They put up 100 points on Mississippi State. I know it's Mississippi State, and you can say what you want, but man, they looked really, really good in that game. Honestly, I was really impressed with the way that they looked. It was a great win for Bama. It's just something that they had to have going into it. So, guys. Yeah, that's a huge win for Bama. They're going to keep improving. I got Bama on the 4 line as of right now. We'll definitely have to see where that entails and where they go from that. But absolutely, it was a great win. Great win. So, So now let's get into some other big-time games. Let's move that banner, maybe. Oh. Absolutely. So let's look at some other games from last night. Another huge game. Santa Clara, St. Mary's, huge I always mess it up. WCC matchup. I think it went exactly kind of the way that I thought it was going to go. It was really fun to watch, St. Mary's play good basketball. You got to give props to Santa Clara. Santa Clara, they played really good basketball. They really did. It was fun to watch. They just could not finish at the end of the second half. They were up 2 at halftime. They just looked like they were going to take away with it, and they just could not get away with it. So you got to give your props up to St. Mary's. The outlook for this game, I would say that St. Mary's probably moves up to maybe an 8 on the 8 line, maybe 9. As of right now, I think I have Santa Clara out. I think Virginia Tech moves in after this loss. Virginia Tech's a team that they should be a lot better than what they are, I would say. So, and then another game that we'll talk about from last night, Nebraska and Maryland. Nebraska did not look good in that game. They did enough to win the game. I will say that they did win enough to win the game, but they did not look good doing it. So it was tough to watch, but they got the win. The next game that we'll talk about is San Diego State, Utah State. San Diego State was a team that's really close to that tournament line, I would say, and they just got closer. It was a great win for San Diego State. Utah State, on the other hand, they are not looking good. They've lost 2 straight. I think they might be closer to the bubble than they are actually into the tournament. I know that might sound crazy. Some people might call me. If they lose at UNLV, which they have in the past, Utah State's going to they might be on the outside looking in going in the Mountain West Championship. If they lose to a Grand Canyon at home on Saturday or a UNLV coming up. So I think that's definitely something to keep in mind as it keeps going on. So, yeah, like I said, these were our updates. It was going to be a quick pod for you guys, quick 10-minute pod. We'll probably post it as a YouTube video. So, with that being said, thanks for everyone coming in. We'll be actually, we forgot to do one thing. We have to take a look. Where is it? I messed up. Can Michigan bounce back? Let's get into that. Michigan and Illinois play tomorrow. That should be an absolutely great game. Anyway, look at it. Michigan is a 1.5-point favorite going into this game. Line hasn't really changed. It's at Illinois. Michigan is 16-1 in the Big Ten. Illinois 13-4 in the Big Ten. You look at it, Wagner, he's obviously playing great. He has averaging 18. Lindenberg averaging 14. We look going into this game, Michigan pulled out a win against Minnesota. And Illinois has a bad taste in their mouth after getting beat by UCLA. So this is going to be a big-time game. I mean, Michigan's a team that we thought no one could touch, and then Duke got them. Duke really did get them. Duke won 68-63. That was a really fun game to watch. And then Illinois, they're just trying to find their stride. I mean, they were a really good team. They were a 1 seed at one point after beating Nebraska on the road. Like they are a really good team. It's just how good are they? I think that's a great question to ask. So who do I think? We can look at it a lot of different ways. So who am I going to pick to win this? Michigan or Illinois? I like the home teams in this situation. I like Michigan to win in this situation. They tasted defeat last week. I think Dusty May is going to have this team ready to go at Illinois. It should be a great atmosphere at Illinois. It's hard to win at Illinois. Nebraska did it at the buzzer. Wisconsin did it as well. I just think that Michigan is going to bounce back in a big way. And I know they beat, Minnesota, but they want another opportunity at winning these big games. They're one of the best teams in the country, in my opinion, if not the best team in the country at this time. And you got to give it to them. You seriously have to give it to them. So I'm going to take Michigan to beat Illinois tomorrow. Should be a great game. Let's look at some other previews for tomorrow. What other games are we going to put on? Miami, Ohio plays tomorrow. Miami, Ohio is a 12.5-point favorite. Nothing to write home. They play Western Michigan. I mean, Miami, Ohio, it has been really good. Has been really good lately, I would say. Looking at tomorrow's games, Merrimack, let's see if they can keep going. They should. They were going to Kansas, if that's how you say it. Sorry if I said that wrong. Obviously, we got Michigan, Illinois. James Madison, Coastal Carolina. That should be a pretty good game. I mean, a lot of Sun Belt action, some MAC action, and that's about. I mean, some Ivy League. I mean, there's one Ivy League game, two Ivy League games. So, obviously, the slate on Friday is gonna be better or Saturday is gonna be better than it is on Friday, and that's just how it works. Looking at games going on, let's look at some games that have been finished in the mid majors. There should be some that are done. No games are done yet. Okay. Let's look at some games that are almost done. How about that? We can do that. Michigan State and Purdue. I did take Purdue to win this game. And I don't understand, like, a lot of people thought Purdue was just going to go in there and roll. That was never going to happen. That was never on the table, in my opinion. So they're up 42-40 as we're talking right now. UNCG Greensboro. Let's see. I mean, for the most, there's not really any teams playing with any implications. Utah Valley, their biggest game of the year is tomorrow in court against the WAC. They need to win that, and they should win that, in my opinion. Oh, it looks like they are now streaming Utah Valley games, so that's good to hear. It's unfortunate I had to go to that point, but and big game on ESPN2, Wichita, Memphis. Wichita 10-5 in the American, Memphis 7-7. Montana State's up 11-0. UC Davis and Hawaii, that might be a good game to look at. There's some good games Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow will be our big slate day, like it always is. We'll be doing all the previews for Saturday's games. We might put out game predictions for tomorrow. We might have 2 or 3. There's not really a lot of games to look at. I don't know. We might do a bracketology video for TikTok. I'll be honest with you guys. I can see us doing a bracketology. I think we need an update on bracketology. So with that being said, that's our full show. I know it's a little bit lighter. We normally do this the night of. I think we're going to change how we do this show. But with that being said, thanks for everyone that's been live. And yeah, we will see you guys back here tomorrow night.